Michael, testament, isn't it, to Lewis that he's got that new contract?
Yeah, it's great news. It's great that Lewis and himself could get back to where he is from a few years ago, and obviously he's growing all the time and getting back fit, and I think rewarded with a new contract, which is everyone in the building's pleased, and so is Lewis. So it's great news.
Has it been a surprise, really, how much he's become a mainstay of your side in this first 6 months of the season?
Yeah, I think ultimately, the medical team have worked really hard with him over the time he's been out, and we've had to manage him coming back, but he's still on 1 game a week. I think in that situation, we've had a couple of injuries in those areas, but we want a really strong unit. We know that in the defensive unit we need to be really strong if we want to do anything in this league, and I think we've got really good, experienced centre halves in the building, and I think that's great, and just to keep the depth in that unit is really important.
On the 1 game a week, obviously it's a bit different around Christmas and New Year with the gaps between games. Will it still just be one of the 3 games between Boxing Day and New Year's Day that you'll see, Lewis?
I think it's not as clear cut as that, to be honest. I think it's not clear cut as doing it like that, but so I've just got to work out like which ones he does and the timings between things, really, if he can do one in certain days, and that's big advice from the medical team as well, and Kieran Walker and the staff in there, and Tom Hallis, just to make sure that we don't overload it. But we'll see. But the pattern of 1 a week-ish, if you like, is definitely going to be for the foreseeable. And then as we get on and he starts to grow and get stronger, then that can change. But the last thing we want to do now is risk Lewis and overload him too early, too soon, which, hopefully the chances of it happening again come down as we start to build him.
3-3 for Bailey over the last couple of weeks. Are we starting to see the best of him, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've always seen in training, he's finishing, he's great in and around the box. He just needs to get there a little bit more. But what I think you do see is that instinct goal scoring player that we brought in on loan. And what I really like about him now, he's really growing into the team and the tactical aspects that we're asking him to do. I think that's always going to take time and how well they grip to that. But I think we're seeing the best of him now, and hopefully he can keep moving in the right direction and keep adding. I actually think he's got loads to go. I actually think he's got loads to improve on as well. And I think we can keep improving him, and I think he definitely can keep working hard and improving him. But he's getting the goals that he's been working hard for, really.
And is he benefiting from having that run of starts now, do you think, as well?
I think he's just benefiting through time. I always say, I think when we have young players come into the building, you have to, he's not, an old player that's played in the league for a long amount of time. It's different for him, and League One's different. So I think just time and coaching and developing, and he's got up to speed really quickly, and then he needs to work and keep getting his minutes and keep driving. But I think what's really pleasing is how well he's now starting to work hard for the team, and get himself in the box in good situations, and then you see his quality when it lands to him.
You had a great game on Saturday. You had that 45 minutes at Huddersfield. Do you think you're starting to see what you want from your side on that more consistent basis?
Yeah, I think so. It's easy to look at Reading and say they weren't on it. They were missing a few players, but they were 6th in the league, so they pick up points against other teams. But we just stopped their threat, which was their pressure. They press really hard with their front 3 and front 4 or 5 if they go after you, and we didn't do that, and we controlled the game loads. And I thought the professional performance was really, really pleasing. And when you look at like you say, the first half at Huddersfield, and then that, we're starting to get more consistency. But I do believe, even the games before that, we had some really big moments in games and we're creating chances. It's just now keep going in the right way, and keep trying to do what we do and be us. And then I think we can control games, but also be a real threat.
Where are Shrewsbury's main threats?
Oh, they've got loads. I think since obviously a new experienced manager in Gareth Ainsworth that's come in, he's definitely shored them up and make them stronger. He's definitely made them more competitive and harder to play against, and you'll see that in the results they got, like away at Wigan at the weekend. So that they are fighting for their lives, and like any team that's fighting for their lives and are hard to beat, you can get undone in these areas. But they've got some good power in the team, they've got some good strength up front, but we've just got to look after our own game and try and go after their weaknesses and make sure that we come out with the 3 points.